Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I am so late today. I had my box designed, my project designed this morning, and I did not like it. I don't know. Probably it would have been okay for some people. I don't know. Some people may have gone ahead and demonstrated it, but I just wasn't happy with it. And so I redesigned my project this morning and I just decided to go a different direction. I had a different idea in mind with this bundle, but it just didn't execute quite as nicely as I would have wanted it. So I'm going to show you my reinvented version. It was always going to be a birthday in a box. I love birthday in a boxes. This is it right here. It is so cute. And look, I kind of continued the line going all the way up, and the whole thing looks like a cardigan, a sweater. So it is just a fun thing, but I wanted it to be a birthday in a box because this bundle does have birthday greetings in it, and I will show you what's inside this in just a second. But this is the all zipped up bundle, and it is so cute. I love these zippers. I don't know why I didn't get this right away. I think it was just that it didn't really have my typical pieces that I would use to make a box. But I have since gone online to see what other demonstrators have done, cards that they have made with this bundle. They are so cute. You can make really cute themed cards with this bundle, dress them up like different occupations, so it's just a really fun bundle. I'm going to show you how the different parts work today so you can see how cool it is. It's just a really fun box. And I love birthday in a boxes because they are so very useful. They are a sweet, all-inclusive little birthday gift that you can have on hand for those birthdays that you forget at the last moment. One of the things I like to put in them is these Betty Crocker mug treats. Now this is not the only flavor that this comes in. I have put the link down below in the description of this video in case you're not familiar with them and you want to see what they are, but they fit nicely inside here. And then just grab some other things which I'll show you in a second. But they are just like a really kind of a useful gift to have on hand. Like if you work in an office building and you might sometimes forget someone's birthday, well, have a few of these on hand, and it's really cute. Today, we are going to be making a masculine version of this, just so you can see that it's not just a floral design. We can make it look masculine as well, but this is so fun, isn't it? Isn't it cute? I just love the way that this came out. So we will be making a version of this today, and I will have a project sheet for everyone tomorrow in Saturday's email. If you are not already on my email list, look down below in the description of the video. There is a link to sign up to my email list, and then you can get my Saturday project sheets every week. I also have project sheets that go back for several years that you will have access to. That link comes to you in the welcome email. So when you subscribe to my email list, you will get an email, and you have to confirm that you want to be on my email list. Otherwise, people could put in whatever email address they wanted and into that blank. And if the person doesn't confirm it, you're not going to be on my email list. So you need that part. And then once you've done that, you should get a welcome email. And if you don't get that welcome email, you can wait till the first Saturday email, and you can get the link to the project sheets is also in my Saturday email. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. The last banner of the email has the link. You just need to click right on the banner and you will get it. It's good to see so many of you here today, and I'm sorry that I am so late. I just felt like I got done designing and then I had to photograph, and I was just like, I'm just going to send out an email and let everyone know that I'm going to be late. I should have done it sooner, but I wanted to have a photograph for you of the project, so I needed to organize all of that. So I do have a host code running this month, which I'm going to be closing out on Sunday. So just in case you're watching this later on, don't panic. Host codes are going away on Monday. That was the last day, but I'm going to be closing this out on Sunday. But I'm closing this out. We are switching to a new rewards program where everyone's going to get 10% back on their order if you purchase at least $20 worth of product. That is starting next week. Right now, the only rewards that happen are for orders of $150 or more. And that's why I've been rewarding people that spend and use the host code so I can collect the benefits and I can send you a gift. Now you're going to be getting your own gift because you're going to be getting host rewards. So your own rewards that you will use on a subsequent order. So this is my host code for the month, and for every $50 you spend, you're going to get a pack of Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6 pack of my retired Designer Series paper, and it's whatever I have left over. I cut it down to 6x6 if it isn't already in 6x6, and I package it up in a new cellophane bag. So you'll get at least 20 sheets of paper. It's usually more. And then you'll also be getting a partial roll of ribbon. I'm not going to measure how much ribbon there is, but I will make sure that there is enough on the roll so that it isn't just like a piddly little bit. So you'll get a partial roll of ribbon and a 6x6 pack of Designer Series paper for every 50 you spend. I already have had some people that have spent more, and so they're going to be getting multiple packs of paper and ribbon. So I'm very happy to do that. And this is going to run the whole month of April, whether you use the host code or not. So after Sunday, so this will be my last video where I'm going to be talking about using my host code because it will be going away. But I wanted to continue the rewards for the whole entire month, just because I just wanted to do that. So just to go through the changeover, and I didn't want someone not to get the rewards. All right. Okay. Let me switch over to my other camera. Let me just make sure. Okay, I'm zoomed in. Okay, let's pop over here. So I already talked about the all zipped up bundle. I want to grab real quick the paper that I used for the pockets right here. I'm just going to move things around here. I use the Cute as Can Be Designer Series paper, and it has bee patterns on one side, but it has some neutral patterns on the opposite side, so that's really good for these little pockets right here. For the box itself, I just want to tell you real quick what I did. The stamp set comes with, scoot this over, these images. And so I just stamped this flower in, what's the name of the ink pad? Bubble Bath, the Bubble Bath ink pad, and just stamped it all over the top of the box. And then I stamped it in Petunia Pop and created this little zipper hanger thing. And so it just, you will see how I put this together when I do the masculine box, so you'll see the other details. I also did these little bands right here. This I did with circle punches, and I did this little band up top here also with a circle punch. So it's just super, super cute. But that, I went ahead and I stamped that. The happy birthday was together originally, and I cut it apart so we could have happy and birthday on it, so I could stack them. And so on the inside, look at how cute this note card turned out. I didn't do pockets on here because there wasn't enough room. This is a note card size card, and I don't know, I'm infatuated with tent folds. And so I actually did it so it opens up like this. I cut myself a new card. If you have note cards and envelopes, the Stampin' Up! Note cards and envelopes, you'll get them so they open on here. That's fine. You can just do your card so it opens like this. It really doesn't change the card. I just like the orientation a little bit better with the fold up the top. And then on the inside, I used the two greetings. This one says zipping by to say hi or hello, and I cut off the hello. And I just put that on a block as well, so I could just do this, and then this becomes the little card for the inside. So this one measures 3.5 by 5 inches. So this box, if you did a regular size card, you would need to shave it down by probably 1/8 on each side, so it would be like a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch card, and then that would fit inside here because this is about 4 1/4 by 5.5. It's like it would just not quite fit a regular size card, but you could almost get one in there. So if you wanted to do a full size and just shave off a little bit on both sides, you could do that. So then in here, oh shoot, I took everything out. Put in a balloon, and I just grabbed a bunch of candles, and I took, this is just some pretty in pink ribbon, and I just tied up the candles with some ribbon. There's 5 candles here, and then this is the Mug Treats cake. It comes both with the cake mix and a topping like an icing, so that's why I like this one, because it's kind of festive. It's rainbow chip cake mix, so it's just kind of nice. And then you just stack everything in here, right? And you put that in there, and then you have the lid, and it goes on the box, and then you're all set for birthdays. Okay, we are going to get started. I have a feeling today is going to take me some time. I got very organized, but it's a lot. Not a lot hard project, but just because I shifted course, it was a lot. Okay, let me grab my this, and let me grab my trimmer, and then I will show you how I put this together. And I have lost my instructions. What a day, it's under something. Oh, here it is. Okay. I have not made the project sheet for this yet, obviously. I did have hopes that I could do that, but yeah, no such luck. I'm gonna put these stamps down here a little bit out of the way so we can shove this back up to the top. Okay, so this, first of all, we're going to make the base of the box. So I'm going to use thick basic white for the base. This is going to give your box some stability. We're going to do a double walled box for the bottom, and then a single walled box for the top. So we're going to start off this box with this is 9 3/4 by 8.5. 9 3/4 by 8.5. Okay, we're going to score this at the 1 inch mark and the 2 1/8. Yeah. All right. 1 inch mark and then 2 1/8. I'm standing while doing this, and I'm standing right behind where I'm scoring because that is the best way to get good score lines. I have so many measurements written down on this thing because I changed my mind so many times on this box, but I finally came up with the box that I like. Okay, so this is what the piece looks like. I'm going to have a diagram for you in my project sheet so you'll see what it looks like. I'm going to have the long side. The long side is facing towards me. I'm lining up the first score line right here. Oh, I need to bring this down a bit. And I'm going to bring my cutting blade, line it up with that score line, the second score line in. You can also do this with your scissors. If you follow me, I do this all the time. I do this on my trimmer. So then this one, zoom out a bit. Okay, so this one's also the second score line in, and we're going out. So this is what it looks like. We've gone to the second score line. So you can cut that with scissors too. If you like nice straight lines, then you can do this like I'm doing it. I'm just lining it up with the score groove, the score line with the groove. We're going to cut again from the second score line out, lift this up, second score line out, and then we've got those. Okay, then we're going to the other long side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side right now. Line this up, cut, lift, and cut. Make sure you don't cut it all the way through. The way the light is shining right now, I can't see my score line, but now I've got it set, and cut and cut. All right, so this is what it looks like. We've got these little fingers out here on both long sides. Now we're going to switch it to the short side, and we're going to do the outer score line first, and the outer score line is the same as what we did before. We're going to cut the two outer squares off, so we're going to come down 2 score lines and cut and lift and cut. So then you'll notice these guys fall off. Then you're going to go into the next score line, but don't cut both score lines off because that would be bad. We're going to just come up to this first score line and cut that off this time. So we're just cutting off that outer square. So you're not going to come all the way down to the second score line. It's just the first score line. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I always like to start with the outer score line first and do away with 2 of them and 2 of them, and then we're going to come to the inner score line, and then we're just going to do the 1 square this time, right? Not down to the second, to the first score line and to the first score line, and then we have this. All right, we've got a lot of little squares, so if you have a project that needs little squares, yay for you. I tend to, when they're that small, I tend to throw them away. If you have kids though, what I did when Nicholas was little, I had my scrap box, my little recycling box, and I would put all those little pieces in there, and he loved to craft with those. So you know, if maybe you have like someone in your neighborhood that would love little pieces of designer series paper or little pieces, because our cardstock's really nice, right? It's really nice to work with. So it's like having little tidbits of nice art supplies. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm tapering those inner those inner tabs. Okay, and then it looks like that. And I will have that diagram for you. And let's just go ahead and make the whole box base, and then we'll get into the lid, because the lid, with the lid, we're going to do a lot of the gluing and stuff on the lid itself before we assemble it. So let's go ahead and assemble this bottom of the box, because it's assembled a little bit differently than the top. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold along all the score lines, and it's better with a bone folder. Okay, let's do this. It just helps get everything in place. Nice crisp fold. I feel like I do this box base a lot. But it's always different measurements. Like, I always customize the box base to whatever we're doing, and I wanted this to be a certain size. The all zipped up bundle was really designed for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card front. So I wanted this box to be about 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that is why I designed the whole box around. It also fits the mug cake very well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The way I cut, so I cut into the long sides. So when this box assembled, these tabs are going to be tucked into here, but these tabs aren't tucking anything. So we're going to glue these outer things first. Why are you just, I'm going to zoom you in. Zooming in and out. I said I was going to fix my zoom so it just stays in one position. So we're going to glue this outer one on the short side, and we're just going to glue this down. Flip it to the other side. Notice how I'm gluing, I'm leaving a little bit of an edge, like I'm leaving about a 1/4 inch where I'm not putting any glue around, because I don't want the glue to ooze out, and I think about a 1/4 inch is usually pretty good. All right, so now it's pretty easy to see how this is going to come together. We'll come along here. When I do this, I'm bringing this up and I'm bringing these in, and I'm just going to kind of wiggle this into place and not crunch it into place. I am putting pressure right here so that my box is coming in. The sides are coming in, so they're not coming out on an angle. I want them nice and tight in there. And then I'm just gonna press this down with a bone folder. You can kind of see what I'm doing. And we'll come over to the other side and to this. And just getting that in place. And again, I'm putting a little pressure to make sure these are all the way in on both sides. And then I'll come in. All right, so there is the sturdy box base. I do like to make this in thick basic white because it is a little thicker than our regular cardstock, so it's going to just give you a nice base to start off with. Okay, now we'll do the lid. And for the girly box, or the feminine version of this box, I did use white, but I wanted to go with a darker color for the masculine version so you can see what it looks like with colored cardstock. And you could do the feminine version and colored cardstock as well. So it's just whatever you decide. I'm using Lost Lagoon here. And let me just flip to my lid instructions. This piece measures 7 7/8 by 6 5/8. And we're going to grab this piece right here. And we're going to score this at the 1 1/8 inch mark. 1 1/8 on all 4 sides. All right, and you know, I could do this with the scissors, but gosh, I love my trimmer to do this. So I'm going to have the short side facing me, and we'll just line that up on the score groove. Okay, and this time there's not 2 score lines, there's just 1. So we're just gonna cut from that score line to the edge, lift this up, and do it the same on the other side. So this time on the box bottom, we cut into the long side. For the top, we're cutting into the short side. And you will see that in my diagram later on. Okay. So next with this, we're also going to taper cut these little pieces right here, these tab ends. I like to move my cardstock around to my hand that is doing the cutting rather than coming over here and over there. This is where I like to cut, right here. So most of the time you can bring your cardstock to you and then flip this over one more time. So I'm always cutting in the same spot. Okay. Little shards of Lost Lagoon. So this is what our piece looks like. So I wanted to create, when we're doing this, we have to, it's just so much easier to do all of the work, all of the decorating while this piece is flat, because you're going to be putting a lot of things on here. So let's just keep that in mind when you're decorating yours. And this also helps you because you're going to kind of design as you go along and do whatever pattern you would like. So I would like to use, this time I did, on my original box, I did a flower stamp all over the box. That was super cute. And now I want to use, I hadn't used this stamp yet. So I actually haven't made this box yet. I've just kind of done some experimenting on the side. So we're going to use this Pool Party ink pad, and we're going to use this on Lost Lagoon because I want a very, very subtle line design on here. Now this might be insane to do, but I just wanted to give this a try. You could, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. You could do this without doing what I'm going to do, but I thought it would just be fun to try this. Try a pattern on here. So let me grab this box for a second. So you'll notice with this box that we're going to be covering up the middle of this box. So if I stamp this, the stamp is clean. If I stamp this from the center over, whatever I overlap over on this side in the middle is not going to be, you're not going to see that. Like, you're not going to see if it's off kilter a little bit. So I thought it would be fun to do a line pattern on here. So let's just go for it. Let's do this. I want to also, I'm going to make a centering mark on this. So I'm going to use my centering ruler. It's about, there's a centering This is the 0 right here. So I'm going to make sure this is about 3 1/4, just a little bit off on both sides. And I'm going to do myself a little line here. And I'm going to come up here and do a little line right there. And then this is just going to help me when I am stamping, so that I know, you can barely see that, but I just a very light line so that I know how far over I can go here. And I'm going to go all the way up and all the way down. Crazy. I usually don't do this much stamping, but hey, you only live once, right? Let's give this a try. I'm also using a lighter ink pad color than my cardstock color. If there are any mistakes on this at all, this is going to be a very light colored mistake. So that will also help. So let me see if I'm going to, I think this is gonna kind of stretch right along here. This is gonna work. I'm gonna go on the diagonal right here. We'll start off right, I'm gonna start right down here at the bottom. Okay. And we're just gonna go all the way up. With the pattern. I'm going to switch this just a teeny tiny bit like this. And we're going to go up and up. You're probably thinking right now, this is kind of crazy. There's a method to my madness, I promise. You know, sometimes you have to make something look like, you have to like work on it to make it look better in the end. And at the time you're like, why? Okay, so for this down here, ooh, this fits just across here. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful when I stamp right here. I'm going to go right there. And right there. And right there. Okay, that looks good. I'll also do that up at the top here. Now, I am going to do a little thing with the neckline up top here, so I'm just going to center this for now. And some of this is going to be covered up. Okay, so you can kind of see my pattern. I've done the bottom and one side, and now I'm going to do the other side. All right, I'm gonna try and line this up as best I can. It won't be perfect, but it will be better than some shirts that you can buy at the store, and you know how their patterns aren't 100% lined up. And if it's like a plaid or something, and you're like, oh, that's just not quite right. This one, I'm gonna try and line up as close as possible, and the zipper is gonna hide some of that. Now, another thing you could do, if you wanted to sacrifice a piece of designer series paper, like a big one, to do your project, you could also do the lid out of designer series paper. If you're doing that though, I would probably at least back the center of it with a piece of cardstock. Like I would cut a piece, if I was doing designer series paper, I would like come back in the lid and do like a 4¼ by 5½ backing for your designer series paper, so that it would have a little bit more stability. Or you could do a piece of designer series paper, say it was tone on tone. You could leave the cardstock and then just do like the tone on tone pattern, just cut it for this middle portion. So there's some options if you don't want to stamp all the stamping I'm doing, or leave it plain. You can absolutely also leave this plain. Okay, that looks pretty cool. It's such a subtle design, but it's gonna add a little something to the piece. Like once it's done, it's going to just give it just a little tiny bit of patterning on it, just so it doesn't look quite as plain. Because I was doing this for a masculine, and I'm thinking of this for a grown man, not for a little boy. If I was doing it for a little boy, I could have used the star stamp. This little guy right here could have used the star stamp all over, and that would have been cute. But I don't know. I have a feeling that not too many men have like stars all over their jackets. So I was trying to create like a little bit more of a neutral, subtle kind of pattern. Okay, so let's put this aside. Now we're going to do a whole bunch of die cutting. So let's bring in the pieces that we need for our die cutting, because we're not going to assemble the box until we've got everything. We're going to use our big machine. I think this would also, it would work on the small machine as well, but I think just for my purposes, I'm going to use the big machine right now. Let me shoot that in there. We're going to need our base platform number 1, thin die adapter number 2. We're going to put down a base plate. First of all, we're going to do some cutting. We need, let's do the zipper first, because that, I think, that's going to make sense, and then we'll work our way out. So for the zipper, we're going to take a piece of 5¾ by 2 3/8 inch piece of smoky slate. You could also use silver foil sheet. That would be really pretty. But I think that this makes a nice alternative for a silver zipper. We're going to use this piece. You're going to line this up at the top. I'm going to tape this down with labeling and cover up tape. The link is down below for this stuff in my Amazon links. It's like the top of a post-it note. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure that this right here is right up at the top and centered. You want it to line right up, and just take a little peek just to make sure this is kind of pointing down in a centered sort of fashion. Okay, I'm going to pin that there, and then we're going to run this through. Sorry, my table's shifting a bit. Now, let's keep this on here. Oops. Keep that right on there for a second. Bring this back over here. I'm going to remove my die carefully. And let's peel this off. Put this away. I don't know how other people have done this, because I haven't watched any videos. I just had a look at some of the cards people made, but I didn't watch any videos. I took a look at both of these, and I decided that, I don't know why I decided that this one was going to be the up side. I think I know, because I think, yes, I do know, because of the way it faces. Just hold on. Are they the same? Does it matter? Anyway, I decided that this one, just trying to see if I turn this. No, I think they're both facing the same way. So it doesn't matter. But I put an up arrow. But now I realize it didn't really matter which way it faced. You can do it either way because the lines are going out on both sides are the same. So just take your die, no matter which side it is. I thought they were different. You're going to see where this stops cutting right here. You're going to line up your die right there, and then you're going to center it coming down on the rest of the piece. Just eyeball it. Just make sure it looks like it's coming down straight from there. The corners of your die are going to be right where that V comes down and stops cutting. And we're going to pin that down one more time with cardstock. So with the tape. Okay, and now we're going to go, oh, it doesn't want to go through. Okay, let's see. Okay, now it's catching. I needed my plate a little bit over. So I'm just going to go up to the point where my die is connecting, and then I'm going to go back. There's no need for me to go all the way through. I could, though, but I didn't want to. And then we're just going to peel this off. And you can see I just went down slightly down. It's still connected a little bit. When I've cut this before, it's actually cut all the way through. So it just kind of depends, but it's just going to continue that zipper pattern all the way down. So that's just a really easy way to continue that pattern down. And then we'll just throw away this piece and peel off this. You really got wedged onto there. Okay. Okay, so that is piece number one. We need this piece. This is the zipper piece. We're going to come back in. This is a piece of Pretty Peacock, and this piece measures 6.5 by 1.5. We're going to take these two pieces. These are what surrounds it surrounds the zipper. It's like the seam that surrounds your zipper. That kind of, if you were sewing, it would be where your zipper would be sewn into. And so this is a 6.5 by 1.5 inch piece. I'm not going to pin them down because I don't mind. These pieces don't have to be straight on this piece. So we're going to have a piece like this, and these have not cut all the way through. That's fine. We're going to deal with that in a second. Then you're going to cut 2 pockets, which I already cut because I was kind of experimenting to see what paper I wanted. These right here, these pockets, will cut out a left and a right hand pocket. I just want to grab, so much paper. This is the leftover of one of my Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper packs. I have gone through several of these already. This is great paper, and I think it was back on the low inventory list yesterday. But if it goes out of stock, it is carrying over. Pick a pattern out of the paper. There's lots of masculine patterns in here. And then just cut yourself 2 pockets of whatever colors you want. So that's the next set of things that you need to cut. Then, what else? You need a zipper. So let's bring this back in here. Where's my little zipper piece? Okay. Go ahead and I hope that didn't shift. I have a feeling it did. Nope, it's good. Just as long as I don't wiggle it too much. This is again Smoky Slate. What else do I need? I think I've got everything I need for, that's a little cute little zipper pull. I think I've got everything I need to cut right at this very moment. So let's go ahead and throw this down here. And let's grab our lid again. Let's grab our pieces. Okay. All right, first off, we're going to, where my scissors go? We're going to cut through and connect those two lines together. And you just don't pull that apart. You want to keep it intact because once you pull it apart, it's going to be much harder to get into place. All right. I want to create a neckline and a t-shirt neck, a t-shirt peeking out. So to do that, we're going to create ourselves a little template. You're going to need 2 pieces. I'm going to show you how I did this. Let me grab a piece of cardstock. Just a little piece of cardstock because I wanted to show you how I made this template. So once you have this template, write template on it, and then you can use it for all the subsequent necklines that you need to do. Keep it in your stamp set, and that way you'll always have it. So once you've created this, it will be good to go. So you'll need a piece, just grab a scrap piece of cardstock, and you're going to make that 2 1/4 by 4 inches. You're going to take your centering ruler or take a ruler, and you just want to move, sorry, I'm off a little bit. You want to make a mark 1 1/8 inch over. So just find the center point of the short end. So that's going to be, for me, I'm using my centering ruler, but it's 1 1/8 inch over on one end. And then you're going to take your ruler and you're going to just connect. I'm going to turn this. So I worked this out for you so that it would be easy for you. Hope I'm still in camera. So basically that's what your template is going to be. You can take this and cut those pencil lines with a trimmer, or you can use scissors, because it does not need to be precise. It's going to be hidden from everything else that we're going to do, but we need this shape. Basically this shape, we need that. Okay, so go ahead and cut it out, and then you're going to have something that looks like this. You want this triangular piece. Now anything else that you create with it, the t-shirt, the neckline, the skin that goes behind it, you're also going to cut it to 2 1/4 by 4. So we're going to do a white t-shirt, and we're going to do some brown skin. I'm going to use, on my first box, I used basic beige, but for this box, I'm going to use a slightly darker skin tone. I'm going to use crumb cake. It's so nice that we can personalize this. If we're doing it for a different skin tone color, we can do a darker color if we want to. So we have, you know, crumb cake, we have pecan pie, we have early espresso. So go ahead and personalize it for the person. And so I thought I would just do a different skin tone here. And we're just going to take our template. It is the same measurement, 2 1/4 by 4. And then we're just gonna lay that on here. I have put a little bit of temporary adhesive on the back of my template to make it easier so it doesn't shift around while I'm cutting. But you can also just hold it there or trace it. You can trace it with a pencil and then cut it if that's easier. Whatever works for you. You're just going to use it. And remember, this does not have to be straight. It just needs to be, so it just looks like that when it's done. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with this piece right here. Just line it up. Okay. On here. And then we're going to cut this one. And cut this one. All right. Okay, so how do I create the t-shirt? So this is, I'm using the 2-inch circle punch. I punched this earlier when I was doing my my other box. And so you're just going to take your piece. Let's just move this out of the way. So much going on here. We're going to take this piece and you're just going to eyeball it. I want to have a little bit of room on either side, like about like at least 1/8 of an inch. That's a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, just peeking out on either side of that circle. And then I'm just going to trace that. It's not quite half a circle. If you did half a circle, it would be fine too. It's just, that's a really good kind of depth because some of that is going to be covered up by the zipper. So it's actually not going to be as wide as it looks. So then you're going to take your punch and we're going to just kind of come in and we're going to punch that out. Then, because I did pencil mark on the side, I don't want to erase it. We're going to do the neckline on the other side. So let me just show you. I need a piece of basic white. That's big enough. Here, this piece will work. So then I'm going to take my 2-inch circle punch, take a scrap piece of basic white. We're going to create a hole in this piece. So you need to it needs to be punched in far enough, like about like that, okay? Then we have a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. You're gonna come in and you're going to just center that circle that you just punched inside there, and then you're gonna punch. You're gonna make yourself a big O. All right, and then we're going to create that hem that's at the top of the shirt. So we're just gonna glue, we'll put the glue on this piece like this. And then we're going to line up our O on here. And you can see if it's like lined up on the back here. And then we're just going to cut off the excess. So if you have another white t-shirt that you want to do, say you're making more than one of these boxes, you have enough of a circle left to do another shirt. And there you can kind of just see right there, I've got the hem, the top hem around the neckline there. So then we're going to just go ahead and glue those two pieces together. So the shirt is getting glued to the skin. Like that. All right. Okay, I'm gonna need those circle punches again in a moment, so let's just pop that aside. we're going to take our zipper and we're going to glue that to our piece. Now don't worry if you see anything sticking out here on the side. It's gonna be fine, because we're gonna cover up that zipper with these pieces in just a moment. So in order to glue this, the easiest way I have found, don't put the glue on the zipper, just kind of come down here. If you punched it the same way I punched it, you're just gonna go right along the edge. And then we're gonna take this, I'm gonna lay this down on top and just maneuver it. If you want to, you could go ahead and you could snip off this excess. If that bothers you, you could snip it off. But once we get everything on there, it's not going to matter. So you can see the little shirt right there. Okay, so now we'll come back to our box. And I think I'm gonna just turn this right here. I think I like this as the box, the one that's facing me right here. And I did cut, this is going to be a little bit further down, going over our score line, and we're gonna cut that off afterwards. So in order to make it easier to line things up, I'm just gonna bend this piece over for the moment so that I can really see where the edge is, and I can really, make sure that I'm like lining this up. And we're gonna just kind of, okay, that looks good. So I'm just dry fitting it first to make sure that looks good. Then we're gonna go ahead and put glue on here. And we'll put glue all the way down here and there and there, there. Okay, so we'll just lay this down. And first you just want to make sure that you are actually centered on the top and you're lining all the way up. And then as this comes down, make sure that it looks straight. Okay, then we're going to bend over the bottom here. And intentionally I have a little bit extra just to cut it off, just for those little discrepancies. And then you've got your zipper. All right, and then I guess we can leave this bent over. Let's come in with our little pieces here. So we're just going to snip, snip. I'm just continuing down, and we can, actually I probably could have just cut across. That would have been easier. All right, so now just need to make sure when we glue this that we have enough overlap on both sides. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we'll put the glue on the zipper part, and we'll just take a little tiny bead and put it all the way up. And then this is where it kind of pivots. So you want to make sure you're leaving about the same amount of zipper parts showing. And different zippers have different amounts of the zipper showing. So you just need to decide, do you want just the teeth showing, or do you want a little bit more? I'm opting for a little bit more because I want everyone to see how cool the zipper is. And then we'll do the same for the other side. See how this is going to cover up any imperfections that are sticking out from your t-shirt. Also, if you put the glue on here, then you're not going to get glue on the rest of your project. So we're going to come in. This needs to scoot down a little bit. Just make sure it's straight. Press that down. Look how pretty that looks. Okay. How handsome that looks. All right. And then we'll bend this over on the bottom. See how this is why you want to glue everything on here while it's flat, because it's just easier to do. See how nice that's coming together? And now you can kind of see how like that pattern, it's very, very subtle, but it looks good. And even though I stamped both of these separate, they are somewhat lined up, right? So I feel pretty good about that. Okay, next thing, we got little pockets. And I haven't decided yet whether or not I would like to do a little trim on the pockets. So what we're gonna do, I don't know if I want to do the dark or the light. Let's try the light first. We're going to take our punches again. This is the 2-inch punch. 2-inch circle punch. This is the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. Might need to come in. Uh-oh. Okay, I can do it from this side. I was a little bit too far in and it wasn't reaching all the way. Okay, so just create that circle and let's have a look. So we could do that lining. I think that's the one I'm gonna go with, but also try this one. I don't know if I want to do the dark or the light, so I didn't decide upon that ahead of time. If any of you want to chime in just a second, I'm going to do, there's a lot of stuff on there. So here is, let's turn this a little bit. That would be, we do the light. I think I like the light better. I don't know. I think the dark might be a little too dark. What do you guys think? So it's just going to trim on that side right there. Just trim the pocket a little bit. You know what we could do? Okay, this is my temporary adhesive. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. I looked to see if I could find everyone a link to my, it's an adhesive called Dotto, but the dispenser, only the refill is available, and I could not find the dispenser, the Dotto dispenser. So this is what that pocket would look like. And what this pocket would look like. So you can tell me what you think. Pretty and not pretty and pink. Pretty peacock? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I like better. Lost Lagoon. Like, definitely the pretty peacock just does define the pocket a little bit better. And this one is just a little bit subtler. I don't know what you guys think. Do you like the dark color? Dark for me. The light. Oh my gosh, the dark, the light, the light. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be like a tiebreaker. Okay, I'm gonna just let that sit for a second while I'm gonna tidy up just a little bit while you mull that over, and we'll just decide, because there's just too much stuff going on my counter right now. It's like so much stuff. Okay, that, I hope I don't need any of those pieces. Let's put this away away for a second. Put this away. Throw those over there. This goes over here. Some more scrap pieces of paper. Let's zoom in. All right, let's see. Okay, I got light, 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 dark, light, dark, 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 dark. I know, it's hard, right? It's hard to choose. Okay, I think I have more dark, so we're gonna go with the dark, even though my first inclination was the light, but I think the dark will make it pop a little bit better. So let's go ahead and let's make it dark. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just trace my pocket right here. And we'll just lay this on here. I was so happy that the 2-inch and the 2 and 2 3/8 punches matched the curve of the pocket so well. So that made me very happy. And then I'm gonna this was Dotto. So it's not really a permanent adhesive. So let's just go ahead and just add some Tombow for good measure. It's really easy to add that with the full circle just right on there, but okay. Oh, so cute. Look at that. Aren't those little pockets cute? So if you wanted a subtler look, then use the Lost Lagoon, right? If you don't want it to like pop quite as much, then just go ahead and just make it lighter. And I'm gonna, how far did I go with my other ones? I'm gonna do it right about there. And this one is right about here. This is honestly a lot of fun to make. And I know it's like a little bit extra work to get all these pieces on here, but like, trust me, it's just popping right now. And then, where did I put my little zipper? It's around here somewhere, somewhere. Oh, I hope I didn't throw it out. I probably threw it out. Oh dear. I threw it out. Did I throw it out? There was so much going on. There were so many little pieces. I knew I was going to do that. All right. I probably need to, okay, I did cut an extra one for my card. So I'm just going to use the one that I used for my card, and maybe if I'm very, very lucky, the other piece will show up, but I probably threw it in the garbage. Okay, so let's grab a mini glue dot, and we're going to stick this right underneath. Kind of right underneath. I can kind of see that right underneath there. And I'm just gonna push that down just a little bit, and we're gonna stick that right on there. It's so cute. Now, I was experimenting earlier, and since I might have to cut another zipper tie, I thought it would be fun to add, even though I was gonna do a star pattern all over the thing, I thought it would be fun to do a little star dangling from here, you know, like a little zipper pull, extra little element. And I'm just gonna put both of them there. That's the Lost Lagoon one, and then this one is Pretty Peacock. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you like the Lost Lagoon star or the Pretty Peacock? Or you can say dark and light again. Do you want me to do the light star or the dark star? What do you think? Let me know. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to show you how I did the top part of the box. So right here, I'm going to add like kind of how the top, the neck kind of keeps going further. So I cut a piece. This piece is, let me just check my 4 3/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, so basically the back flap of the box right here. I'm gonna grab my ruler one more time. So what I did for that is I lined it up on here. I'm gonna line it up so it's right against here, centered on this piece. And I'm going to just line up my ruler so it's coming like right along there. And I'm gonna draw, and don't move. And I'm gonna draw on the other side as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut. And I'm gonna cut. And then I just wanna come back in. I'm gonna just see. I'm just gonna cut a hair off this side. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then I just cut myself, oh my gosh, I know I cut myself an extra piece of, there it is. This is just a piece of Pretty Peacock that's 1/4 inch wide. The length really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to put glue. This is just like lining the pockets, except we're going to line the skin. My glue's getting a little to the end. That's a lot of glue. Let's grab some of that off. Okay, we're gonna put this on here. Just line it up with the edge. And put it on the edge enough. Okay, then we're going to trim it off. Trim and trim. And then we'll come back over on this side. Okay. That. We are going to put that on there. So this would be just, you know, the part of the jacket that wraps around. And we're going to cut and cut. All right, and then we're going to just add this right there. So we're like creating that top part of, I don't know, this is the headless jacket, right? But it just kind of made sense to me. Just look, let's just go with it, okay? There's no head to this jacket, but yet I just feel like it just doesn't end as abruptly as it would if it were just, you know. So we'll just add that right to the edge. Okay. So, okay, I'm looking at what people say. I think we're saying neither, not manly. Oh, Barbara, I'm glad you give your opinion so freely. That's awesome. Yes, it isn't necessarily manly. You don't have to put the star on. This is just a little extra. You don't have to put it on, right? It's like whatever. And I think the star would look, it would look cute on a little boy's jacket more. But I'm gonna go ahead. I just, it's so cute. So cute. There we go. A little dark star. Yay. All right. Is there anything else? Oh, okay. I don't know if we're gonna put happy birthday on the front or not, but we can do that part afterwards. That's not like a critical piece. So let's go ahead and now fold this along the score lines. Bone folder. Bone folder's over here now. Okay. At least I didn't put a rhinestone jewel on it, Barbara. So, and I'm teasing you, not to be mean or anything. I totally hear you. That's why, you know, that's why it's so nice to customize and personalize things, right? And I'm glad you said that, because some people, you know, probably wouldn't want the star on there, right? Like it would be too, you know, not manly enough, right? So it just depends, like, who are you giving this to, right? And if you're giving it to, you know, someone that's younger, like a millennial or something, like they're not, they don't need things to be quite as manly, you know what I mean? And what is manly anyway? Now we're getting into a whole controversial topic, but you know what I mean? Like, it is whatever people want, right? So, and you know the recipient better than anyone else. So that, why am I so out of focus? Okay, and then I'm just putting glue on these tabs right now. If you could tell. And I'm going to bring the rest of this box together. And so it's really nice to bring this whole thing together while it's still flat, because it makes your life easier. Especially that neckline and stuff, that would have been really hard to do otherwise. And again, you can take your bone folder, give those little tabs a little press, make sure they're nice and flat. And look at that, isn't that cute? Okay, so where is my box? So then this just fits. You better fit after all of this work, right? This just fits on the box base, and then you fill it like before. You maybe find some blue or green balloons, and some, you know, bluer candles. Like my candles came with a blue, yellow, pink, and white, so I would use the blue and yellow maybe for this one. Now, if I want to do the little birthday greeting, kind of, I was debating between two options for that. So where is my extra little piece? So many pieces and none of them. Ah, there we go. Got a little basket of pieces. So remember how I cut apart my happy and birthday, and I'm going to use Lost Lagoon right here. Use Lost Lagoon, and I'm gonna just two different options. You could also like on a darker piece, if you did Pretty Peacock or even the Lost Lagoon, you could do white embossing on there. So this piece measures 1 3/8 by 3/4 of an inch. And because I have cut these apart, I can stack them nicely. So we could do like a happy birthday right there, right? I think I wanted to see what the white would look like, and the white might be too much competition for the t-shirt, but let's give it a go and see which one we like better. Same size, 1 3/8 by 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So we could do like this one, which really, if we did that one, it really says, hey, happy birthday, because your eye is going to go right to the white, right? It's going to go right, zoom in right there, and it's going to go right to the white. Or if you want to be a little subtler, you could do that. You could also do this with white embossing powder too. That would, I think, if you did with white embossing powder, it wouldn't compete so much with that. What do you like? Do you like the happy birthday just in a subtle Lost Lagoon? Or do you like the white and bright happy birthday? Let me know which one you like of those two. And in the meantime, I'm going to make myself another little card. So I've got, I cut myself a piece of Lost Lagoon that was 10 inches by 3.5, and I scored in half at the 5 inch mark. So the card front is going to be 3.5 by 5, so it's going to fit inside here. Okay. So I did do some die cutting. I'm just going to scoot that to the side for a second. I did do some die cutting in advance, so you wouldn't have to watch me die cut everything again. So let's grab all the little pieces I need. So I already did my little t-shirt top, so we can go ahead and glue these two together. It's the same thing I did for the box. I'm just gonna glue these together. And for the zipper, I had a spare one of these already made, but if you want to, I would just go, when I was cutting the piece, I would do 2 3/8, and I'd go like a little bit longer than 5 inches, just so you can trim things off at the bottom. Like I probably did 2 3/8 by 5.5 here. So you can do that as well. And then you're going to glue this to this. So again, we're going to take this piece, we're going to run down. Okay, don't give out on me now. We're almost done, glue bottle. Almost. It's almost your quitting time, but not quite. All right, and then we're going to pop this on here. Again, we'll just line this up with the top. Okay, and then we're going to line this up. We'll come along here and here and here and here, and this time we're not going to go all the way down to the bottom because I think it's 5.5 inches. I'm going to just come along here, center this. We're going to cover up those seams again. Now, I did not stamp this. I probably should have stamped this, but I forgot to. So you could do the same pattern. Now that I'm doing this, this kind of reminds me of like scrubs, doesn't it? But typically scrubs don't have zippers on them. But you could definitely, now you can see how the lines on here make it look more like a knit cardigan or something like that, right? So that's just something just to point out. It's nice to kind of see the difference. And we're going to come in with this piece again and just line it up. Just leave about the same amount of space, overhang. And then we'll do the other side. I love how they gave us these pieces, these die cut pieces, because that really, whoever designed this bundle, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. There's sometimes when I get a bundle and I'm just like really happy with all the pieces. And this is the case with this bundle. I really feel like it was well designed. Okay, so now we just turn this over and trim and trim. And I'm going to open up the card to do those two trims. Okay, and what did I do? I'm trying to decide what did I do on, oh, I just did a zipper and a little pull. Okay, and I did lose my little zipper piece. I lost it. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my mini machine because that big machine, and I've got so much going on. Let's bring in my mini machine. I am going to do the light gray as my bottom piece because remember my machine is tight if you know me. It does tell you to use the #1 plate, but if your machine's tight like mine, use the light gray plate and you will be much happier. I don't know why I didn't know this at first. I spent some time being very unhappy with my machine. And then someone told me you can use the other plate and it was like, wow, that's so very true. Okay, so we're going to, okay, these are not lined up very well. Oh, come on. I've got too much on my desk right now. All right, here we go. We really did a lot of work today. Or I did a lot of work while you guys watched and helped me. All right, let's poke out this little guy. I can't believe I threw my little zipper piece away. And my garbage is quite full right now, so it's just, yeah. I've been working on the different pieces. Okay, so we still need to decide on that. And this one, oh, it would have looked so much better had I done the stripes on there. I really miss the stripes there now. Okay, and I have my mini glue dots. Oh, good. I've got another sheet. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to take this, and we'll just put that right there. And I have that star left over. I know it's not the same color, but we're going to put the star on here since we put a star on the front. And I'm going to do the Lost Lagoon one just because I don't have a second other one stamped and cut out. So this little star is actually in the stamp set and it has a die, so you just stamp it. This one was in Lost Lagoon, this one was in Pretty Peacock, and then you just die cut it out. Okay, and so this would be the matching card. And if I had done the stripes, if I had remembered to do the stripes, this fits all the way across. So I could have done it all in one go, all the way across. I wouldn't have had to do that second stamping, like, because the box was wider and I wanted to go all the way down the sides, right? So this one would have fit all the way across, all the way up. So that would have been like really super cute, right? So then, you know, I guess I do have, I have more. I have not eaten any of these mug treats. And a topping, I don't have any balloons tied up yet, but then you write your card, right? Put it in there. If it's like an office gift, oh wait, I forgot to do the inside. If it's like more than one person in an office, then they can all sign their names to the card, right? It's just, I don't know. It's like just something happy. Like sometimes it's just nice to be remembered on your birthday, right? That just that simple acknowledgement is so nice. Okay, so I just took this piece, this since this is darker cardstock, I want to have a place for people to write. If you're doing an office thing, you'll want a piece for the top and the bottom so that there's lots of places to write. And then this is going to be 3 3/8 by 4 7/8, so just 1/8 of an inch smaller. You could go even like another 1/8 smaller, but this is a small card and I was thinking, do we need more spaces to write? So it just depends how much you want to write. And then you're going to take Pretty Peacock and you're going to, remember how I cut off the hello? So so this is zipping by to say, and this time, since it might be signed by more than one person, you can just kind of bring it down to the center. And then we're going to come in and we're going to do happy and birthday. And if you had kept these in one long line, you could stamp them in one long line as well. But I think that just looks really cute to have that. And we still have not decided what we're going to do with our little other birthday greetings. And we don't have to put a birthday greeting. That's another option. We don't have to put anything on the front, right? Okay, so this just goes in like this, right? And then you have that for the inside of the card. And then we just tuck that in there, right there. Okay, very, very, very messy desk. So messy. All right. I want to bring both boxes in. Let's see. What are we going to do? Okay, let's see. We have, okay. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm hitting my mic. I apologize. Okay, so white, subtle, subtle with white, or you could matte with white, blue. Oh, if the pockets were open, you could stick the happy birthday in the pocket so it could stick out a bit. Oh yeah, like that, and just do it on the inside. Yeah, that's a great idea, Louise. I've seen that too. People have tucked little things on the inside. I think I saw someone did a little mini card that they stuck, like a little folded card that they stuck in the pocket. That would be really cute too. Yeah, that's a really nice idea. So I think I had more people say to do like the subtle happy birthday. So we're gonna do the Lost Lagoon birthday on there. It's just a very subtle way. I mean, I could have stamped it on there too. I just want it to be like really just like very, very neutral right there, and just super, super cute. Okay, there's my extra. Let me stick that on there. Let me just move some things out of the way, and then I'm going to bring both boxes in one more time so we can see how cool these are. So much stuff. Oh, look. Oh, look what I found. Under my laptop, we have the extra zipper. Of course, right when I finish. That's what, sometimes when I need to find something, I have to spend like, a lot of time cleaning everything up just to find the thing. And of course, it's like the very last thing that you find, and it's underneath everything else. Okay, so let's bring this in. So you can see we can go very girly, right? Very, very girly. And then we could, this does look masculine. And Barbara, I'm going to cover this up for you just a little bit so you can see how it would look without the little star, right? So it could be, that's pretty masculine, right? Maybe, okay, like some men might not like plaid. My husband, I have to say, my husband's pretty conservative, right? So in terms of how he dresses, right? So I he might not want the plaid pockets. I think my son would wear a jacket like this, but probably not my husband. So, you could find like an even more neutral pattern. Plaids have been pretty popular though with the masculine set. I do like the little lines on here. I think that's really cute. It makes it look more grown up, right? You might be able to dress this up like something from the person's actual wardrobe, right? And then you can put something different inside of this box to put the person's favorite candy in there. And so it really is a way you can personalize it very easily. And then just look how cute like the little card is on the inside, and the little greeting zipping by to say happy birthday. Just remember to cut off that little extra hello, and then you can use, is it hello or hi? Yeah, it's hello. It's hello. You could use the hello separately as well, right? You don't have to necessarily use it with the zipping greeting, but you could piece it together and use it. So anyway, I hope you like how those turned out, and a very useful gift, right? Like for a birthday, you've got your card, you've got a little cute little set of balloons, you've candles, you've got a balloon, and then you've got a cake, a little cake mix in there. So it's, you know, it's a little birthday in a box, right? All ready to go. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. And wow, I have really gone like way over everything that I have done today. I have been live for a very, very long time now. So I'm probably going to I'm going to go very quickly through the comments and see if there's any questions. I think in the interest of this live, I'm not going to keep going much longer because it's already gone an hour and a half. But I wanted to really give you an idea of what you could do with this box, right? And how you could take it and super personalize it. It is very cute. Like someone who gets this is going to think, wow, that is really neat. So it just taking that extra time to personalize it, you know, someone's going to think that is really a cute thing. So let me just go to the beginning, and I'm just going to say hello to people's first names, and we'll just go through really quick. Hello, Mary and Tanya, and there's a second Mary, and Linda, and Terry's here too, and Nancy, and Mommy Rue, and Nola, and Marty. Hello to all of you. Hello, Verblue. Hello, Kay. Hello, Elizabeth, and Cindy's here, and Donna, and Jane, and Adelaide from Germany. How awesome. I have someone with initials NJBRLB. Hello. Hello, Marge. And I'm just reading the input. I'm just making sure that I'm when I was asking which colors I should choose. And okay. Marty says she loves the way the stripes continue on the sides of the box. It's such a great box. I really wanted to make sure, you know, that we can make beautiful cards out of this, no doubt, but I really wanted to show you how cool that could be to like have that, you know, continue on to the sides, like the neck and everything, how it looks, you know, kind of, it definitely is a 3D and not just a flat thing we stuck on top. It definitely has a lot of good vibes going on. So thank you, Marty. I'm glad you noticed that. Linda, I hope you came back. She said she lost me for a moment. Okay. And I really love the way Louise said that you could keep the pockets open and just glue on the outside, and you can stick something in the pockets. That's a really good idea. So let's see. Louise said, can you put the card front in the scoreboard and make equally spaced score lines on the horizontal line to make it look more like the lid? Ooh, I could do that. Let's try Louise's idea. I know, we're way over time. Do you really want to see this? Yes, you do. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to grab my scoring board. Louise is on my team, and she's a lot of team members have a lot of good suggestions. You know, honestly, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off at the bottom, and I'm going to take my thick line, and I'm going to come down, try and find, and then I'm going to do, there's like a thin and a thick ball, so let's do this. And then let's skip a little bit thick. I was going to use my ruler to help line it up, but I think I'm doing okay. I can kind of see thick and thick and thin and thin. Let's see. Hey, that's cool, Louise. Oh, Louise, you are so cool. Okay, let's go over here. Let's do thick side and thick side. I don't know if it makes too much difference using the small ball versus the thin, but I'm just gonna I'm doing a 1/4 inch, 1, 2, 1/4 inch apart. You know, it really did need a little something something. Oops, I made myself an accidental line. Hopefully I've canceled it out. 1, 2, I think we're gonna go this way. Now as I get further apart, it's gonna be harder to line those up. Oops. Keep skipping lines now. Okay, let's keep this in line. Yep. This is what you have to do if you have to fix a little mistake that you made. You have to end up scoring your whole piece. This is great for the card, but I would probably keep the stamping on the top piece because on the lid, because I would worry that by doing all these score lines, they're decorative, but they could also, oh, look how cool that is. Look at you, Louise. She fixed my card for me. Look how nice that is. Very nice. So now let's put these two together, and I'm going to move my scoring board. You should see my desk right now. It is like really scary, but look at that. Pretty good little fix for my little box. Very nice. Okay, so if you forget, so this one, you can kind of see I did this small ball and the big ball of my stylus tool. It makes a slightly deeper indent with the big ball versus the small ball, so you can alternate them. I did the wider one, the bigger one on the bottom, and the smaller one on the top. So very cool. All right, I love it. Okay, thank you. Brenda said this was a fantastic video. So nice to see you on here, Brenda. Long time no speak. Fair Blue says, wow, lovely birthday box project. Kay said she took snapshots as I made the card to have great reference. Okay, great. And Jane asks, is that the lost zipper pull in front of the yellow container? It was actually not under the yellow, it was under my laptop, but I did find it, so that's really good. Thank you for looking for me. Louise liked how I spaced the lines. Well, I just took your idea and tried to emulate a little bit of what the stripes were. So, you know, this was a pretty good match up, right? Okay, I'm going to bring my face in here one more time. All right. Well, thank you all for bearing with me. This is a great bundle, and I really wanted to do it justice. And my first design, you know, that's sometimes in order to get a really good design, you have to fail first. So I don't think my box was even that big of a failure. It just wasn't quite what I had envisioned when I started out. So I changed pace. I did something different. and I'm very happy with the way it came out. Now, if you've made it this far and you're not already one of my YouTube subscribers, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the that little icon, the little bell, to get notifications for when I go live. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate if you do any of those things, because this gets me seen by more people, and it allows me to do this as a business, which is a very there's a lot of components to this business. I don't just papercraft all the time, but it does allow me to be creative and to bring my creative ideas to all of you. So thank you so much for being here. I never go live on the weekend, or not on the weekend, in the afternoon. So thank you for joining me this afternoon, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.